Hello! Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing my October TBR. It's October 6th right now, so I am putting it up a little late into October, but I have... Hey, can you not do that? I did pick the books in October at the very beginning, and I also have already read one, and I'm almost finished with another one. I'll probably end up finishing it today. There are a couple of short story collections, there's a Stephen King, there's a few books, and I'm just really excited about it. October is my favorite month. Fall is my favorite season. I feel like most book lovers, at least most book lovers that I watch on BookTube, love October, love the fall, which would make sense if you're a thriller lover or you love horror books, that your favorite, season is fall. So anyway, we're just gonna get right into it. I'm gonna try and hurry up with this. I'll get it up in the next couple of days. So yeah, the first book I'm gonna show you guys I already read, but I will save my rating. It's I Know What You Did Last Summer by Lois Duncan. Hi. Oh, she's gonna knock over my books. This book is technically YA. I got introduced to Lois Duncan in high school. When I was a freshman in high school, they thought I had an issue with reading and comprehending books, so I was put into this special class for people to read and comprehend books, and literally all we did all day was read, which I wasn't mad at because I love to read. So I was like, you know what, joke's on you. But I'm actually really good at comprehending books now, so I guess I could thank that class for that. But this is an author I got into in that class. She's, like I said, YA, and it is the book that is the movie is based off of, but the book was written in the 70s, and the movie, oh my god, my brain is just doesn't want to work today. The movie is from the 90s. I think there was a little bit of conflict with Lois Duncan and some of the movie, the filmmakers or whatever, because it's very different. They vary a lot. There are similarities, but for the most part, the movie is way more adult, and the book is definitely YA. I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but if you were to read this, it's not that similar to the movie. So if you wanted to pick it up. And then the next book I have right here is a collection of short stories, which I'm not going to give my rating yet because I'm not finished with it, but I only have 2 short stories left, and I will say that I am very disappointed. It is Something Borrowed, Something Blood-Soaked by Krista Carmen. For one, look at this cover. It's kind of shiny, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but look at it. It's got can't tell if that's a man or a woman's back, but I want to say it's a man, and then he has a pig face, which that ties into one of those stories, but what the hell? Creepiest cover I've ever seen in my life, so I thought, you're really gonna like this. Probably gonna be some creepy shit in here. 13 stories, and I'm disappointed by the majority. So I don't know, it's like I said, I'm gonna save my rating, but I'm a little disappointed. Okay, and then the next, I think there's 10 or 11 books right here, or the rest of them on my TBR. So the first one is the one that, if it's gonna be the last one I read of the month, so if I don't get through all of them, which it's pretty hefty TBR for me, it's 12 books deep. If I don't get to one, it will be this one, and it's Stephen King's The Green Mile. I feel like I had it on my shelves, and basically to pick my TBR, I picked all of the horror books and the ones that looked the scariest and put them in this pile. So if there is going to be one that I don't read, it will 100% be this one, because I'm not that interested in it. My opinion is that King's adaptations, movie, show, they're usually better for me personally than his books. And I've been disappointed, I guess, by books from him before, but I have this one. It's a really old copy, so what better time than now to try and read it. The next one that I have is Zodiac by Robert Gray Smith. This is, yes, about the serial killer, and yes, this is the book that inspired the movie Zodiac, the one with Jake Gyllenhaal, and my brain is just not working, and I'm usually really good at actors. Mark Ruffalo. It's the one with Jake Gyllenhaal, Mark Ruffalo, and Robert Downey Jr. And Jake Gyllenhaal plays Robert Gray Smith, who wrote this book. No. I got it from Half Priced Books. That's where I go to get the majority of my books. And I'm pretty excited about it. It is true crime, which is, you know, something that I'm super interested in. So the next one is also true crime. I've never read a James Patterson, but here we are with a James Patterson. It's All American Murder. It's about Aaron Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez was the football player who ended up also being a murderer, killed himself in prison. I did see the documentary about Aaron Hernandez on Netflix. Didn't like it. There were some things that came out about him that I didn't like the way that they came out. And he can't defend himself about them because he's dead. Yes, I do believe that he is a murderer. No, I don't feel bad for him, but some of the things that were said about him in the documentary, I guess not the things that were said, but how they were said and how things came out. I'm not going to get into it, but I can't wait to read this. I actually found his story extremely interesting, and I want to see if James Patterson was able to talk to, like, family and stuff, because I want to hear from the family, you know, just to see. So excited. This next one is one that one of my coworkers let me borrow, and it's The Haunted by Bentley Little. I actually read the synopsis the other day, and I was like, wow. It gave me a little bit of chills, which is a little disturbing, to be honest. It scared me. She said that it was just okay, but I don't know, the synopsis sounds promising. So it's basically, I think about this family who moves into a house, and the house ends up being haunted. And this picture right here is basically the hands and like the basement. The basement's really dark, and it's starting to come up from the floor and starting to make the whole house dark, I guess. I don't know. It sounds promising. I've never heard of Bentley Little. I've never read anything by this author, but I'm really, really excited about this. Another really cool cover. So yeah. The next one is a recommendation from Noelle Gallagher here on YouTube. She is one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. She is so funny, so genuine, so like weird and, you know, kooky and silly, and I just love her personality. She's so cute. But it's Ruth Ware's The Death of Mrs. Westaway. I've never read a Ruth Ware, but Noelle she always says that she has the love-hate relationship with her. And if you're gonna start anywhere, start with this one. I found it at Half Price Books for about $6 or something, so I was like, you know what? I gotta do it. And it looks really creepy. I think it's more thriller than it is horror. I was trying to go with a horror theme. I don't have that many horrors on my shelves, so this is where I went. But this like really spooky, you can't really see it, but like a spooky house right here, and like, you know, some trees and shit. It's basically about this woman who is like in debt. She is kind of down on her luck. I think she was like taking care of her mom. Her mom might have died. I might be making that up. I'm not 100% sure. She gets a call or an email or something being like, hey, your grandma died. She left her estate to you. Come, you know, check it out. And she was like, that's great, but I know my grandma and she died a while ago. This isn't my grandma. But she is down on her luck and she needs the money. So she's like, you know what? I'm just going to go see what I can get myself into. And then things don't turn out great for her apparently. So super excited about this. Excited for some like creepy vibes. I'm hoping that this will scare me a little bit. So the next one that I'm going to be reading, well, these aren't in any type of order. These are just, they're actually in size order from smallest to biggest because that's how I fit them on my shelves. But it's Baby Teeth by Zoe Stage. I think that's how you pronounce this name. I'm not 100% sure. But this one is basically about a mother and a daughter, 7-year-old girl, and she is starting to act a little weird, kind of starting to act out. and her mom is starting to be scared of her. The dad, though, is like, I love my daughter, there's nothing wrong with her, like, you're being the weird one. And the mom's like, no way, our daughter is out of her mind. I don't know much more about it, and I don't want to know. Like, I just want to go into this blind. It has very mixed reviews, so I'm a little nervous about that, but I tend to have like differing opinions. Like, usually if someone likes a book a lot, I'm like, but I had issues with it. And then if someone doesn't like a book, I'm like, it was fine for me. Like, I'm just in the minority all the time. So, I mean, also got this at Half Price Books. So I'll just sell it back if I don't like it. The next one I have is Haunting Annabelle, and look at that. Got it from Half Price Books. This one is about a guy who goes to jail for murder. Sorry, it's by Wendy Hurd. Yeah. He goes to jail for murder, and then he gets out of jail, and he's like, I'm gonna clean my shit up. Not going back there again. I believe he murdered a little kid, though, which is like, just burn him at that point. Like, he doesn't need to be out. Why is he walking the streets? Sorry. And then a girl named Annabelle, who he is like absolutely obsessed with, which is kind of fucking disgusting, but he's obsessed with her, and then she goes missing, and he basically is like, I witnessed it. She was kidnapped, and I'm gonna go find her, and I'm gonna kill that guy that took her, or something along those lines. And then it turns out that he actually like blacks out sometimes. He doesn't really remember everything that he does, so maybe he did do it. The cops think that he did it. He's like, I know who did it. Someone else did it. But we don't really know. And I don't really know. And I actually don't know if that's accurate description of what this book is about, but I'm excited. And I also think this one is more thriller than horror, but there's nothing better than like these colors around Halloween time. This is just so cool to me. I love this cover. Also, some like deckled edges. Pretty cool. The next one is probably the one I'm most excited about reading, and it is Serial Killers. It's called Serial Killers by Al Cimino. One thing about me is that I am obsessed with serial killers. I love reading about them. I want to know everything. I want to know what makes them tick. I want to know why they did it, and if they can't live to tell their stories, I want to read them secondhand. Like, I just don't care who's telling me a story about a serial killer. I will listen. I love documentaries. I love true crime books. I love true crime podcasts. I just love these stories because they're fucking awful. They're horrific, and they are so fun. The reason I picked this one up, I actually bought this one brand new from Barnes & Noble, which is something that I just don't do, but I had to have this. I opened it up, and the first page that I came across, I'm not going to try and find it, but the one I first flipped to was Richard Chase, who is the Vampire of Sacramento, because I live close to Sacramento, about 45 minutes away. I had to have it. I just had to. Okay. The next two are short story collections. The first one is horror short stories. This is it's not like that long, but this is a big bitch. Like, these pages are very heavy. Like, they are extremely heavy. And they are all by varying authors. You got some Edgar Allan Poe, some H.P. Lovecraft, some Bram Stoker. You got some big wigs in here, big guys, and a couple of stories from each of them. So I'm really excited about this. Plus, this is my favorite cover I have ever seen. Like, look at this skull. Like, look how pretty this is. Oh, I love it so much. And then on the inside, you have like some spooky stuff. Like, look at that. Ooh, so pretty. The next one is H.P. Lovecraft's classic horror stories. I've actually never read anything about him or never read anything from him, but I saw this at Barnes & Noble for $10, and I was like, horror stories, it's almost October, I have to have it. So this is all H.P. Lovecraft. And there are like a ton of short stories in here, which I'm kind of stoked on. I don't know. I'm afraid I'm going to be disappointed, though, because I am reading a short story collection right now, and I'm disappointed, so I hope I'm not disappointed by this one. Another reason why I bought this book, like, I don't really care for this little monster right here. Like, this cover is kind of weird to me, but Look at that pink. Like it's not showing up like as pink, but this is like flamingo pink. It's beautiful. Man, like this pink and black right here takes me back to my emo days like you would not believe. Stop doing that. Stop it. Got 12 books in front of me. Like I said, I'm almost done with my second book. It is October 6th already. So that's 2 books in a week, and I think I might be able to pull out some more in the next few days. I don't know what my next pick is going to be, but I'm probably going to pick it up tonight. There are a couple books on my shelf that I wanted to pick this month that I didn't because I just feel like I'm not going to have time for everything. But it is slowing down at my work, so I am going to be reading a lot more. Right now, my goal is to read 100 pages a day, and if I do that, I will end up getting through the majority of this TBR. So that is it. My October TBR, and I'm sorry it's going up so late. I didn't know that I was going to start a booktube channel so soon. I wanted to do it at the end of the year, but I was like, you know what? I can't wait. I'm excited about it. I just want to. I just have been wanting to for such a long time to make a YouTube channel about something, and this is the one thing that I know that I love reading, and I know that I love talking about books, and I just want to do this. I want to do it. I don't care how many people are watching, and I don't care how many people are interacting with me. I'm gonna do it anyway. So that is all for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.